Hello, my name is Andy Peterson, Village Manager with the Village of Bayside. I'd like to provide you today with an update on the status of the Bayside Municipal Water Project, the voluntary water project that's scheduled to take place in 2015. This is the latest update as of December 10th, 2014. So now that you've seen the tour of the village and the properties and the streets that are included and not included in the 2015 project, I'd like to talk a little bit about the 20-year B-bond financing that'll be available to residents who participate in the project and sign up by the appropriate time. The B-bond assessment is a mechanism that was utilized in the 2013 project to help spread out the cost over a 20-year period. The B-bond process requires that a maximum not to exceed special assessment number be established. If the cost per property exceeds that established maximum assessment, this would require the project to be rebid and essentially start over. As I mentioned, one of the benefits of the 20-year B-bond financing is that you're able to amortize the cost of the public project over 20 years. And another benefit that many people have expressed interest in is that your first payment would not be due until January 31st of 2017. This will show up as a special charge on the property tax bill, where you also see your sanitary sewer fee and stormwater utility fee. It's important to note that only the financing for this project will include the public portion. It does not include, and we cannot finance, the lateral or the interior plumbing portions of the project. Currently, 490 out of the 656 properties in the project area are participating. That represents a 75% participation rate. The engineer's estimated project cost at this time and point is approximately $6.465 million. Now, this is an engineer's estimate. What I want to talk about real briefly is how the cost could potentially be lowered either by the bid changing or by additional homes joining. The current projected assessment, if you look at it over a 20-year period on an amortized basis, equal payments over 20 years, is approximately $680 per year. That does not include additional finance and interest charges. This is only the principal amount. But when you go back and look at the engineer's estimate of the $6.465 million, if the bid amount were to come in at 3% lower than the engineering estimate, the annual principal could be reduced by $48 per year per home. What I'm trying to illustrate is that there is a number of possibilities that could change and lower the dollar amount that each homeowner would be required to pay as part of the special assessment. In addition, you'll see the chart on the bottom where if additional homes joined above the 490, how much that would reduce the cost per home from the $680. So when you look at the chart, if 25% of the homes that have not joined yet, which represents 41 homes, that would reduce the cost by $55 per home, or lowering the cost to about $635 per year. And you can take that all the way down. On the hypothetical that all 100% of the homes joined, all 166 additional homes joined, you could drop the price $175 per home, and the cost could be as low as $505 per year for the principal costs. The majority of questions that we received in the last few weeks to month have really surrounded around private laterals and interior plumbing. The association is currently soliciting bids from companies to install private laterals to achieve economies of scale. They're going out to the marketplace and saying, we have the potential to have you install 500 laterals in the Village of Bayside in 2015. This proved extremely beneficial in the 2013 project. The cost for a lateral through the joint bid for the 2013 project, residents had two options. The first was for $1,500 for an open cut excavation and $1,750 for an underground boring construction. That compares to a recent actual quote from a homeowner that decided to hook up after the fact to municipal water. Their price was approximately $5,700 for a similarly sized lateral in the area that was constructed in 2013. So with this, you do see significant savings with conducting a joint bid. Participation, however, is optional in this. The interior plumbing generally ranged between about $250 to $500 for cross-connection changes in interior plumbing work that was done in the house. We do also realize that there are a lot of different size laterals that will need to be installed as part of this project, and the association is currently working to develop a cost structure with contractors so that various size laterals can be served at the most cost-effective price. So with all of this said, what do you need to do now? If you want water and have already joined the association, the one thing you need to do is decide whether or not you would like to prepay or finance your portion of the project by April 1. We will have more information that'll be forthcoming in the middle of February to help you make that decision. If you haven't joined the association but want to be part of the 2015 project, you need to check to make sure your home is in the project area. If it is in the project area, you need to review the association documents, complete the contact information form, the certification of formation document, as well as complete the waiver and consent of special assessment form, and bring a $300 check made payable to the Bayside Municipal Water Project number 1 to be included in that project. That should be done as soon as possible. The earlier the better, but no later than April 1st of 2015. All of these documents are available on the village website, or if you want to stop into Village Hall, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that as well. So with all of this information that I've gone through in approximately the last 20 minutes, what are the most important things to remember? First, 656 homes can potentially be served by this project. Out of the currently 656 properties that can be served, 490 or 75% are currently participating in the project. At the end of this project, over 86% of the Bayside homes will have access to municipal water. The engineer's estimated project cost is $6,465,810. The current projected assessment is estimated at approximately $680 per year in principal, or over a 20-year period, $13,900. That is based on 20-year financing. I must reiterate that that is for the principal cost, and additional finance and interest charges will be applicable and determined in the early part of 2015. The association is currently soliciting bids from companies to install private laterals to achieve the economies of scale as indicated in the presentation, and we should have that information and be able to distribute that in the early part of 2015 as well. And finally, just touching on the B-bond financing that will be available. To reiterate, it requires a maximum not to exceed special assessment number, which I mentioned and is indicated above. If the cost exceeds that maximum assessment, the project will need to be rebid and start over. As part of that financing, you'll be able to amortize your payments over 20 years, and importantly, your first payment will not be due until January 31st of 2017.